and they're going to be explaining to you about Learning Ally. I think as most of you know, we are providing Learning Ally for all the students in the middle school. They've had all the information, logins, that kind of thing, software put on their computers. We actually have their login information, so I can give it to you, so you have a backup to what they should have already, but then you'll have it as well. And I think that I'm just going to turn it over to them because they're certainly the experts and I'm learning along with you. So
thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. Just a quick note, there's some handouts on the table. This is kind of just letting you know, it's 2 pages. There are getting started with your account. So this is where if you want to grab your login and password for your student before you leave, you can put it on here. It just gives you a little overview of how to, what you can use our software on, PC or Mac, Android or Apple, and then just some quick 20-minute reading tips. So again, thank you so much. My name is Michelle. This is Amy. Amy's going to help out if anyone needs the technology added to their device that they brought today. We're going to go through a little bit about Learning Ally for anyone new to the program. We'll cover how to access your student account at home. With Winston school accounts, your students do have at-home access as well. So they can add unlimited books to their bookshelves in addition to what their teachers or educators may be adding for them. They have full use of it outside of school as well. And then we'll just do a quick review of the software, as well as I have the app on my iPad and my iPhone. Anyone, if you have the app installed on your device or the software, please feel free to follow along. And we'll leave some time at the end for questions. If you have questions about your specific student's account, we can help you with that today, or just in general about using the technology.
And if you needed to connect to the Wi-Fi, the IT gentleman said that we can. It's a public, and if you can just look for if you go to your settings and Wi-Fi, it's just under Winston.
And there's no password. Yeah, we made sure. So just to get started, a little bit about who we are. We are the nation's largest producer of human-read audiobooks for students with print disabilities. We have over 80,000 titles in our collection currently. Our main focus is textbooks and educational materials, but we have a huge selection of fiction, classic novels, literature, enjoyment. We try to keep current on those as much as possible. And also we try to, especially in the summer months, we do something called summer reading, which we'll talk about a little bit into the presentation. And we try to adapt if there are any new movies that are being made from books. We feature those books in our catalog, so it's kind of like read the book first before you see the movie. So we do focus a lot on the textbook and educational materials, but we also put a lot of effort into that fiction and popular fiction and literature section for both in-school use and outside of school use. All of our materials are read by volunteers across the country. We don't pay anyone to read for us, so our entire library has been compiled by people volunteering their time to our organization. We recently joined efforts with the Screen Actors Voiceover Guild in New York. So now we have some professionals volunteering their time, practicing their craft with our books, which is really exciting, lending voices and inflection and accents to different characters. So our books have really come from just, a straight professional reading to a little theatrical for the books that allow that. And then lastly, all of our books are fully accessible with page navigation, bookmarking, speed control, and you can actually customize what the screen looks like. So it is individualized to the reader and what they prefer, what works best for them as far as a visual experience as well as a listening experience. So with your students' membership through the Winston School, you, as I mentioned, have unlimited access to books. So students can add and download as many books as they like. You don't have to worry about them running out of space for their textbooks. If they have a hobby that they've found a bunch of books on, they can add everything they need. They also have unlimited access to the app for PC and Macs, as well as the software for Android and iOS devices. So they will have access to their books everywhere they might need it, whether it's in school, at home, or on the go. So to begin, I'm going to go jump into our live website so we can see logging into your student's account at home, what that looks like. Excuse my back. Everyone logs in from learningally.org, whether you're an educator, a parent, or a student. I'm going to go ahead and log in with our student 1234 today. Now the passwords that Jill mentioned, this is the password you'll need to get into the website, to search books, as well as to download and install any software or applications from Learning Ally. The same login and password for everything, which is great. We kept it consistent, but you will need it for each device you want to install the software on. So here we're into the student account. You'll see there's a student welcome page, which gives your student access to build better reading habits. They can track if they've read 20 minutes per day. It also allows for any new information that we push out to our members, such as summer reading. So June 1st starts our Summer Reading Together initiative. So it's to keep kids engaged and reading throughout the summer. Students can individually opt in to read. It's not a mandatory thing. It doesn't have to be done through school. You log in, you say, I'm ready, I want to join. And their reading totals are calculated against others throughout the country all summer. And there's chances to win prizes for your school, for yourself. And it just keeps those good reading habits. They get some fun badges and icons when they successfully complete their 20 minutes a day. They get reminders when they haven't read 20 minutes a day. So it's something great to just look into to keep that reading initiative going, keep that fluency over the summer when they're not necessarily in school every day and in school settings. So, and that's all done from the student's homepage. We never directly communicate to students, so your students will not receive any kind of emails or solicitations. Anything that we want to announce happening is found right on their dashboard, and it is always an opt-in type of experience, so you don't have to do it. It's not an automatic. At the top of the page, we have our Browse Audiobook section. So your students are going to go here, or you are going to come here to help your students search for titles within our library. If you know a title or an author or even a keyword, you can easily put it in. If you're not sure what you want, if the student just wants to browse what we have, on our main page we always have our latest voice text books. So those are books, which we'll see when we demo the software, that have the text on the screen but are also read by human narrated audio. So it's a human reading, text on the screen, and you can follow along sentence level highlighting. That's for both the software for PC and Mac, as well as the apps for Android and iOS. Our next category is most popular books, and then suggested titles. These are new things that maybe were just added to our library, or things that have been requested most by our users. At any time, you can come back to the top and you can search by category or by subject or even grade level. So I always say if your student has a favorite subject matter, you can drop down the subject, and here's something they can actually check out. If they're into biographies or they're into art or sports, that's stuff that we have, sports and recreation is a category. So what they would do is they would choose their specific category that they like. And then from here, you can actually filter it down a little further by a grade level just to get a general interest. So it may not be their exact reading level. You might want to go with their reading level versus their grade level, whatever works for your student. But it would filter out, we'll just go with grade 7 for now. It would filter out any books that are grade appropriate. And then here you can see they can easily add any book to their title. To their bookshelf, simply by clicking on the title and click Add to Bookshelf. It will automatically add the book to the bookshelf, and it is instantly available on their device, their software, wherever they want to log in. There's no lag time, there's no wait time. It's there immediately for them on their bookshelf. So by logging in with their credentials to the software, to the apps, it transfers this personalized bookshelf to that device, and then you simply can download whichever books you want at that time. You can download all of them if your device has tons of space. If you want to conserve space, especially on the portable devices, Just download one at a time that you want to read. One of the great things is to download a book, you need to be connected to Wi-Fi, but to listen and navigate the book, you no longer need Wi-Fi access. Once it's downloaded on the particular device, it's there until you delete it. You have full navigation, page, speed control, screen experience, whatever you want to do with it, it's all there and waiting for you. So even if you're on the go and your device doesn't have Wi-Fi, you don't need to worry about it. Once the book's on there, they can take it anywhere. So to see your student's bookshelf, that's the third tab up at the top. And we're just going to go ahead and click on My Bookshelf. This is going to show any and all books that your student has. One great thing is students can only remove the books that they have added to their bookshelf. So if their teacher has added a math book, they can't go home and decide, I don't want to read math today, I want to read Harry Potter, so I'm going to delete my math book and it's gone forever. It's just a little extra security that we added into the program, but they can add as many books or take as many books off as they like individually outside of school. So any questions on the student experience from logging in? This is where you would log in, you can check your bookshelf, you can add books to your bookshelf, or you can check on just your home account to see if there are any promotions or contests or anything going on with Learning Ally. Because if there's no questions on this, we can actually jump right into actually downloading and listening the books. If you're going to download on a PC, this is PC only, you're going to need to come to your bookshelf and then you're just going to click I'm ready to listen, click the continue button. It's going to give you the steps of what you need to do, so it's going to tell you now that you're ready to listen, you need to choose how you want to listen to your books. So we're going to go ahead to choose a device. It tells you Apple or Android devices. If we clicked on that, it's going to tell us go right to your App Store or your Google Play Store to get the app on your device. So it's that simple. If you have an iTunes account or if you have a Google Play account, you simply go to that store, search Learning Ally, and it's going to bring up the free link, the free app for link. Download it to your device, and it's there. Since we're on a PC, I'm going to go back. We're going to choose PC or Mac. For the PC, you do need to download the software onto your device, and that's the link. It's really simple. If you would like to put it on a MacBook, it's going to tell you go to the Mac App Store and download the app. So the PC right now is the only thing you need to actually download and install something onto a device from your account. Everything else is just through the app stores. Click done. Once the software is downloaded and installed, I'm going to go, it will look like there's an icon. There'll be an icon on your desktop, and it will look like this. Here I'm logged in as my student. Let me go ahead and expand this. I can at any time see the books that I've downloaded. I can download a new book simply by clicking on the arrow. It'll tell me the download progress. It'll let me know where it's at in the downloading progress. Novels, classic literature, and fiction are really quick. I mean, downloads within a minute. Textbooks take a little longer, maybe up to 5 or 6 minutes for a larger science, history, or math book. But overall, the process is fairly quick. And again, you just want to manage what you're downloading per your device's space. Just something to be aware of. I usually say if it's on a PC or a Mac, go ahead and download your hearts out. It's got enough space. But if you're on a portable device, you might only want to download 1 or 2 books at a time, depending on what other information like music and videos you have on that specific device. So now that it's downloaded, we can simply go ahead and click the play button. And now that this is downloaded on this computer, I can take this computer anywhere. This book, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, is ready to go wherever I need it.
At Learning Ally, we pride ourselves on the quality of our audiobooks. Since 1948,
We'll go ahead and skip through. On the right-hand side, left-hand side, excuse me, you can click the Go To button, and it's going to allow you to type in a specific page. This is great for textbooks. As we know, we don't always go from page 1 to page 50 in a textbook. The teacher may skip chapters, so that's a great way to just navigate exactly where you need to be. You also have the table of contents options, which allow you to, it's a completely interactive table of contents, so you can go ahead and drop down the arrows at any time and go to a specific chapter or page from here, simply by clicking on it. You can see the highlighted sentence level, sentence level highlighting. Let's listen.
Grandpa's supposed to sit in timeout for an hour a day to work off his punishment, but he likes to do that in front of the television instead of.
We mentioned earlier you can adjust the speed control for any book.
Up your nose with the rubber hose. Ah, ah. During school day, Grandpa's on the phone for the gas
It's a little fast.
Fast and the fan came on.
And then you can also change what the screen looks like according to your preference, as well as the text size of the font on the screen. This is all customizable per account. So if your student has a preferred playback speed that they need to listen at, that's their preference, they have a preferred screen look and feel, they can go ahead and customize that once, save it in their settings, and every book that they listen through this particular device will come up with those preferences already set. So they don't have to spend time doing it each book. At any time they can adjust them, so it's not, it's not final, it's not set in stone. If they find maybe a math book they need to listen a little bit slower, they can just go ahead and adjust the speed accordingly throughout the book. Lastly, for this software, you can go ahead and put in bookmarks. Bookmarks, you can actually type in a bookmark note, which would allow you to type a note for yourself, study for a test, or ask Mrs. Smith a question about a specific word. It does bookmark the word on the page where you last left off. Once you save bookmark, you can come down to your bookmark button and it'll show you all the bookmarks you have for a book. So it's unlimited bookmarks for books, and also the characters, it's a decent amount of characters. I think it's like 160 characters for the bookmark. So I mean, you can leave yourself a decent note, a reminder for the student, or asking a question or something like that. And at any time you can go ahead and edit your bookmarks and delete them if you no longer need them. So you can also go back to your library, download a new book, start a book that's already downloaded, or even add a new book to your bookshelf right from that home screen. And that's all done here. If you click on add a book, it takes you right into your account logged in, which is where we were before. We can go to browse an audiobook. This is hard to do side view. Browse audiobooks if we want to add Serafina. I'm going to click add to bookshelf. It's already on our bookshelf. It'll tell us. Add it to our bookshelf. It's going to tell us yes, it's added to the bookshelf. If we come back to the software, and at the very, very top, there's a little refresh button. We simply click refresh, and there's our Fancy Nancy book ready to download. It's a very, very similar experience on both the app for a tablet as well as the app for a phone. The only benefit you have for the portable devices is that you have all of the pinch and grab options that you would use the scrolling, and then you can actually pinch and grab the screen and expand it. You still have the bookmarking capabilities. You still can do a bookmark note on a bookmark. You have the speed control, page by page, chapter by chapter navigation. So it's a completely cohesive experience, regardless if you're jumping back and forth between devices. You're not going to necessarily have to relearn a lot of things from one device to the next. And I'm actually going to let Amy jump in because she has some exciting news coming over the summer.
Yeah, so right now we have, for desktop, for Mac, PC, and Chromebook, we have Learning Ally Link, which is the application that we're looking at right now on the smartboard. And for mobile devices, it's actually a different application. It's called Learning Ally Audio, and it looks a little bit different than what Link looks like. It's a beloved app and a very stable app, but it's time now that we're actually going to come out with Link for mobile. So whether you are on a desktop or a mobile device, it will be the same application. That's going to come out in July, and it'll be released to the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. And it'll have some nice features that's currently not in our mobile app. So the note-taking experience on our current app is it's limited. But once we have Link on mobile, you actually will have a full note-taking capability. So you'll be able to place a bookmark like we see here and attach like a substantial note to that bookmark. You'll also have the ability to add the books like right that we see here in Link. A link right in the application to bring you right to the bookshelf to add the books very easily. Today with our current application, you actually have to kind of go out of the app, go to the browser, search for your book, come back to the app and refresh. With this new application coming out in July, everything will be connected. So we're super excited about that, and yeah, that'll be out in July. Yeah.
So definitely keep an eye out for it because it will be an updated version. We're hoping everyone kind of transitions into the, before the new school year to the new app so everyone has the same experience. Again, right now, if your student is using the software in school and the app at home, it's a slightly different look and feel, but all of the same features are there. So they don't lose out on any features, using one over the other besides the touchscreen fun stuff. Again, the bookshelf, we really encourage you to grab your students' login and password today if you don't have it already, because with that summer reading coming up, we really want to engage those students over the summer to participate, to continue reading, and it also helps to get them, geared up for the new school year where they're not, it's almost like a muscle reflex. They're not losing that thought process of reading and that setting aside time, and it's a smoother transition into the new school year. Plus the summer reading gives them a chance to read some really fun stuff. We spoke about it in the last session, and Amy can vouch for this. The most thing we hear from parents, teachers, and students themselves about our program is that it levels the playing field. Students are able to read the books their peers are reading, their friends are reading, talk about them. They no longer have to wait, an extra 5 months because they have to sit down with mom and dad to help them read the same book that their friend read over a weekend. We have all of those titles. As you can see, we have the Wimpy Kids stuff, we have all of the Harry Potter stuff, Lord of the Rings, all of that stuff that's being used in not only in schools as supplementary reading, but the movies that are coming out and the summer blockbusters. We have the Star Wars books and just things to get the student engaged that, it's often overwhelming to jump right into a textbook. If you find, I know myself, I find math a little intimidating on a great day. So to having to learn a new technology and do something that's already intimidating, it's a little overwhelming. So we do recommend get your students used to the books that they have fun with, because that takes away that learning curve. They already know how to use the app come September. They already know how to use the software. All they have to do is download that math book, and then they can focus on that instead of learning the new tool in addition to learning new curriculum. Any questions?
Are all the Winston textbooks on Learning Ally? Or will
We
they
are
be?
moving in that direction, as we replace with upgraded, newer editions, we're looking for series that would be on Learning Ally.
Okay.
So the extent to which that is current right now, I'm not sure, but
Okay.
some of them are, for sure. But as we introduce new ones, they will.
Okay.
What about requesting books? What is it? Is there?
Absolutely. You can request a book to be added to our library right from our website. It's not a guarantee that we can do it, but they will review the title. If it's already in progress, if someone else has already requested it, they'll let you know that it's already in progress, it's being done, or that it'll go on the waiting list. And then it's prioritized basically by request. So if we have, and I mean, we deal with schools across the country, so if there's a particular Houghton Mifflin math book or English book that is being rolled out to new schools across the country, we'll get tons of requests for that, and that bumps that book up the list because we know, it's not just one person in one school that needs it, it's, 15 districts across the United States. So it's all prioritized by need and also availability of the readers. One thing is we do try to get readers that are subject matter familiar, especially for the textbooks. We use retired teachers and professors and different people with subject matter knowledge, so they're not only just reading the book, they're actually conveying that knowledge, through their reading. I know myself, no one would want me to read an anatomy and physiology book. I would mispronounce probably half of the words in there, so we do look for professionals that are willing to donate their time to us to be able to convey that knowledge through the reading. So availability depends on, we are recording across the country. We have recording studios all across the country, so they will kind of farm out and see, okay, we got this request in, can anyone fulfill it and in what kind of time frame.
Can you narrow down the browsing function? Like, I know there's a sports, but if he wants to read a book about lacrosse, can he?
Absolutely.
narrow that down?
Excuse me, let me just jump back. What you can do is you can actually type in a specific keyword. So
Okay.
if you type in baseball, it's going to bring up everything with baseball, and then you can then filter it
Okay.
down by grade level again, or just browse through what we have on baseball, and it'll be able to give you, you can pick and choose. And each book has a slight synopsis of the book, so you can get an idea of what it's about. If you click on the title, it gives a synopsis, and it'll let you know, if that's something your student is looking for.
Does anybody want help loading with devices, getting the apps and the software, or, can you
Okay.
do that?
Absolutely. And if anyone wants to check out, if you don't have a portable device and you want to check out what the experience is, I'm happy to pass around my tablet. This is an iPad
Do
mini.
you have a?
Yeah, sure.
I have it there. Yes, I
So
do.
if you go to,
Oops.